Hey yo, it's Retro. Welcome to another video, y'all. Today I got another recommendation list. I haven't done one of these in a very long time. Um, there's no reason, like I will be quite honest, like there is really no reason why I haven't done another recommendation list. If y'all haven't watched those, watch them. I've done my top 10 like favorite comics of all time. I've done, my Batman recommended reading. Continuing with Batman, I was actually going to do a Superman one and I never got to it. Kind of because I feel like I talk a lot about Superman. I've done a lot of videos covering Superman. But I probably will still do another one. More than likely, it's gonna be like a discussion on why I think these are great, not necessarily saying like, hey, go read these. Same thing with this one here. This is Nightwing, your guide to reading Nightwing. Nightwing is my favorite superhero, period. If y'all haven't, noticed, I've also talked about Dan Waters' run. I've talked about Tom Taylor's run very briefly and how much I don't like it, but I do appreciate kind of what Tom Taylor's run brought to Nightwing as far as the popularity side of it. Nightwing became very popular under Tom Taylor. It won an Eisner, and Bruno Redondo's art is fantastic. So I don't like the way it was written, but I can't hate what it brought to Nightwing as far as like notoriety. But today, I just want to talk about like Nightwing comics, where to read him, my reasonings as to why, how much I love them, like real straight, like just an analysis on some of my favorite Nightwing comics and why I recommend them, and really boils down to like why I like this character so much. So let's get down into it with his origins and his early days as Robin. So first, I'm gonna be honest with you, like when it comes to recommendations, I don't like saying read this book and then read this book and then read this book. I'm not a big fan of that. I will tell you, you can read any of these books at any point that you want, except for maybe the crossovers I'm gonna talk about. But any of these books you can read and just kind of ingratiate yourself into Dick Grayson as a character. But with his origins and his early days as Robin, we all know how he became like orphaned. To me, you don't need to read how that happened. His parents died during an acrobatic act. Bruce Wayne adopted him. It's not that difficult. It's really let's not complicate things. I'm bringing these up because they are great stories. They really do detail Dick Grayson's connection to being Robin and what that means for him as a character. So first you have Batman Dark Victory by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, which is really like the prototypical, if you want to know how he became Robin, you read this, his first adventure as Robin. This series really covers everything from Bruce Wayne adopting Dick Grayson as his ward, not really son, and then further, Dick Grayson becoming Robin and wanting to strike out and become Robin. It's fantastic. It's one of Jeff Loeb's only good stories, and Tim Sale's art is amazing. You do get the oath in this, which is, Batman having Dick Grayson recite an oath to always bring justice as a superhero. It's a very important point in Robin's life to take this oath, and you do kind of see the difference between Batman becoming Batman and Dick Grayson becoming Robin. Dark Victory is an amazing series. It's a lot of people's first Robin story. It's a lot of people's first introduction to Robin, and it's deserved. It's a great story. I really there really isn't any notes per se. Read it, it's fantastic. And then you also have Batgirl / Robin Year One by Scott Beatty, Chuck Dixon, Marcos Martin, and Javier Pulido. This is a 2-for-1 here. You do get Batgirl. You do get Batgirl's origin in her first year as Batgirl, Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and then you get Dick Grayson's first year as Robin. You can also kind of slide in Batman and Robin Year One into this by Mark Waid and Chris Samney. All of these are Year Ones, quite frankly. They're just told differently. I don't want you to read any of these stories and kind of being this is the correct origin for Robin. Their stories at the end of the day, they can all have taken place during his time as Robin. He was Robin for a long time. He was a kid for a long time. He was adopted at 8 years old, and he was a superhero at 8 years old. Dick Grayson's, it's not confined to any one of these stories. And I think that's the beauty in his origins. Batgirl / Robin Year One is fantastic. Marcos Martin and Javier Pulido on art is just, amazing. You do get a bit of why, they gravitated towards each other, why they became superheroes and how they align. It's fantastic. You also have one of my favorite and underrated Robin stories ever, Batman Chronicles The Gauntlet by Bruce Canwell, Lee Weeks, and Matt Hollingsworth. I say this is most underrated because this is a one-shot. It's not a full-on story, but it feels like a full-on story. This is basically like a test trial of Dick Grayson as Robin. You see him, solve a case while Batman is also trying to, and you see his strengths and his weaknesses all throughout this one-shot. It's amazing. Lee Weeks' art is phenomenal, and it's one of those comics where I say you can really see how effective storytelling can be in a one shot. You can see how effective a writer can really be if they really just lock in. I'm not saying that Bruce Canwell doesn't, but just in the sense that this was 50 pages and you get a full-on story in this, and I felt whole when I first read this for the first time. A fantastic Robin series. I would say my go-to origin. If you want to know how he first became Robin and how his trials and tribulations went, I say go here. The other one would be Robin and Batman by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, also gravely underrated. I do think people don't give this book its due. It is another first year of Robin being Robin, and he faces off Killer Croc. He has his issues with school, and he's kind of trying to balance, superhero life and being a normal kid. Jeff Lemire writes that phenomenally. This is kind of his bag when it comes to comics. And Dustin Nguyen is my favorite Nightwing artist ever, whether it's him as Robin, Nightwing, or Batman. He is a staple for me, and I love everything he's done on the character. Robin and Batman is great. It is very heartfelt. It shows Batman's, want to be a father, but realizing he can't be a father, and how much he can't be everything for Dick Grayson, and how him just doing his best is enough. It's sad, it's emotional, and it's extremely poignant. I love Robin and Batman. It brought me to tears when I first read this series, and you see how much struggle Batman has with trying to be this father figure for Dick Grayson, and how Dick Grayson as a kid is trying to navigate this world as an orphan. It's a complete flip on how, Bruce Wayne had to operate as an orphan. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. I think if you are going to read any one of these origins, this would probably be the one. One thing that is completely different, I don't want you to kind of get hung up on. The suit is different. Robin's suit is not the classic Robin suit. Who cares? It doesn't, I will be real, it doesn't really matter as far as what the story is telling. It doesn't matter what canon. This is an origin. It's an origin for Robin. If you want to read it. I think it's one of his most emotional origins. I feel you really get a real grasp on his character and how he operates as Robin and as a teenager, as a kid, not a teenager, as a kid as Robin. Jeff Lemire's back, man. I love this. I love Robin and Batman. After that, there really isn't much to read outside of the classic 40s Batman comics. He is all over those comics, and yeah, he was introduced a year after Batman's introduction, so he is all over those comics. You can kind of skip a lot of that, and really the next big one would be the New Teen Titans by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. Very mixed bag of comics. It is, for what it's supposed to do, it is a really good comic. It's set in the 80s. George Perez's art is amazing. Marv Wolfman is a good writer. He's a very good writer. He's a staple. I like his writing. Some people may not love it. I think if you're going to read any of the stories in New Teen Titans, because it is a long run, it's 90 issues, it's 2 full omnibuses. If you're going to read just one story from this, Judas Contract is obviously the one to read. You really do get the origin of Nightwing for Dick Grayson, where you get literally the story where he becomes Nightwing and how that ties into his character at this point as a teenager and him growing up. It's a coming to age story for the Titans, but also for Dick Grayson especially. Judas Contract is an extremely popular story. It is literally the only Teen Titans story that people talk about. I'm bringing it up not for Teen Titans as a team, but for Dick Grayson as a character. It is really important for him. And also you get not really the introduction. I don't remember if Deathstroke was introduced in this story, but Deathstroke is Dick Grayson's like biggest nemesis, one of his biggest nemesis. And this is their first like real battle. And if you don't want to read the rest of New Teen Titans, like you don't have to. It's not needed. Like I love New Teen Titans. I'm a fan of teen superheroes. Like I grew up on that stuff, but understandable if you don't want to read it. Moving on from this though, you get Nightwing becomes a bit of a solo hero. There is like a gap between Teen Titans and Nightwing's first solo series. 1994 was Nightwing's first solo series, and that was a miniseries. There are a couple comics that you can go to. Batman Prodigal, I know it's not a Nightwing comic, but Batman Prodigal, which is a tie-in sort of to Nightfall, but it's also kind of like a bridge to the epilogue of Batman Nightfall. I say read it because it's actually a really fun story where Dick Grayson becomes Batman for the first time, and his first Robin is Tim Drake, and you see the woes between Dick Grayson having a Robin for the first time and Tim Drake being used to having Dick Grayson as Batman. They don't really mesh. It's a very interesting set of stories. They're kind of episodic, but it's very interesting to see how Dick Grayson's the first Robin, and he's trying to take on Batman. He's trying to take on Batman for the moment while Bruce is recovering. And Tim Drake this is like really his first big event as Robin, and he has to he's Bruce Wayne's Robin. Like Tim Drake is the de facto Bruce Wayne Robin, and he doesn't really mesh with Dick Grayson much, and it's a very interesting drama-filled run. I really like Batman Prodigal. There are obviously it is tied into Nightfall, but I think it's really good standalone. You also have Nightwing Year One. That is an option to read as sort of this is Nightwing's first year as Nightwing. It's definitely an option to go for Dick Grayson's first year as Nightwing. But I say you should read Nightwing Old Friends, New Enemies, which is a collection of 80s comics that details Nightwing's first year as a superhero away from the Titans. He does team up with Speedy during this, and he kind of just shows up in books here and there. One of them where he actually is teaming up with Speedy is in Action Comics, and to me it's a much better introduction. I think Nightwing Year One does take a lot of liberties that I wouldn't say retcon, because look, I say all of these are stories, you can read whatever one, it's your canon. But it does change things. It does change things that happen in the 80s that I don't quite like. The only thing I do like from Nightwing Year One is the fact of how they detail Dick Grayson kind of stepping away from Bruce Wayne. They do have a fight. It is very emotional between the two. I do like that aspect of it, but the rest is kind of it's okay. It's not amazing. It's not a bad run by any means, but it's an okay run. So if you wanted to see real first year of Nightwing, I would say Old Friends, New Enemies. But both are pretty much viable Nightwing comics to read. And then you get, I'm going to say the collection, Nightwing Blüdhaven, which it collects Nightwing by Dennis O'Neil and Greg Land, which is Nightwing 1994, and that introduces Nightwing's more classic, popular suit, the black and blue. And this basically covers Dick Grayson investigating the death of his parents, the murder of his parents. It's Denny O'Neil. It's great. I really like this series. You do get a lot of Nightwing's relationship with Alfred in this, and this is probably the series where you see why I say this a lot. I say Nightwing's relationship to Batman should be more like a brotherhood, because Nightwing's real father is Alfred. I say this because at the time that Bruce Wayne took in Dick Grayson, he was very young. He was not ready to be a father, and there were a lot of things that Alfred had to pick up the slack on. And guide Nightwing correctly. This series shows that fatherly touch that Alfred has when it comes to Nightwing, and it's a fantastic book. Alfred also is the one that got the suit for Nightwing, the black and blue suit, which is why it does mean a lot to Nightwing. You have that, and then it does dovetail into the first 10 issues of Nightwing's first solo ongoing title, Nightwing 1996, which is written by Chuck Dixon and drawn by Scott McDaniels and Carl Story. This is a prototypical superhero story. This is like, it just details Nightwing's first time in Blüdhaven and how he kind of deals with learning the ropes of being in Blüdhaven, this city that is so much worse than Gotham, but also kind of just like it's not as in depth as far as like why it's so much worse. This first 10 issues of Nightwing 1996 is it's Nightwing going to Blüdhaven for a crime case, and he ends up staying because he feels like he can do some good. Classic classic superhero entry. If you wanted to read Nightwing for the first time, this is a decent starting point. You can kind of start here and you can get the gist. Like, this could be your first comic and you'd be like, I get it. Like, I get why Nightwing is a great superhero. It's not the greatest comic of all time. It's not even my favorite Nightwing series ever, but it does the work. It does what it needs to as far as establishing Nightwing as a superhero, and especially establishing him as a superhero in Blüdhaven, and I'm saying that a lot, and creating Blüdhaven as a city. Yeah, it's great. I do like this series, and later on you do get Greg Land drawing it, so that kind of does like bring it down a bit. Greg Land notorious for tracing, so it doesn't look the best. I like the way Greg Land draws Nightwing a bit, like aesthetically, but the actual art in it is just like, you can tell he just like copy paste, and also tracing people. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. There are also some comics after this, or like even during this series. Cataclysm and No Man's Land happened during 1996. You don't need to read Batman No Man's Land. Nightwing is a part of it. He's not like a major player, like as far as like it surrounds him, but he is a part of it. If you wanted to read it, No Man's Land is good. It's fun. He also appears in Batman Bruce Wayne Murderer Fugitive, which is one of my favorite Batman stories ever. Nightwing is a part of this story, and Nightwing is the character that really checks Batman for what he's trying to do. And I love the conflict between them because you really do feel the weight of all of their history during their argument that they have. I like his inclusion. He's not a part of it like completely. It's mostly obviously, following Batman, but if you do want to read a Batman story where Nightwing has a decent role, that's also one of them. And then you have a period that kind of leads into Nightwing becoming Batman again. This is really his actual term as Batman. And leading up to this, you have a couple series. First one is Justice League of America, The Obsidian Age, which is Nightwing leading the Justice League for the first time, and a big step for Nightwing after being the leader of the Teen Titans, and one that I feel like this era kind of does not talk about enough. JLA, The Obsidian Age is a really good story. For Nightwing especially, you see a lot of his leadership skills, and you see why he is primed to be on the Justice League, or at least to just be a part of the main flagship team in DC. You also have Outsiders by Judd Winnick, and this is, when I say this is Nightwing at his most fed up. He does not like the way the Justice League have been operating. He does not like the way superheroes have been operating, and he does the impossible. He makes his own team with Speedy. They become a very ruthless and dark and edgy team, and it is hell of a fun book. It is a hell of a fun book. Nightwing and Speedy have some of the funniest banter in this story. It's their best written friendship in, I think, ever. I love Outsider. Outsiders. Like it's a very slept on like Nightwing, like it's not a Nightwing series, but it's a very slept on series for Nightwing. No one talks about this series. One of the best, and if there is ever an omnibus or deluxe edition or whatever, I am buying that. I need it. I love the series, man. It truly shows like the difference between Batman and Nightwing. Like Nightwing does what needs to happen. Like he is that kind of leader, and he is very similar to like a Scott Summers, where yes, very much a superhero, but also like things got to be done the way it needs to be done. And Nightwing shows that all throughout Outsiders. It's a very different tone from all of his other comics, but I love this. You also have Nightwing by Peter J. Tomasi, which is basically sort of the last Nightwing story, the last part of the Nightwing solo series until he becomes Batman. And this is like top 3 Nightwing solo titles. You see it's a lot of like Nightwing glaze, but for good reason. He fights, Ra's al Ghul, and one of the things that like pops up is Ra's al Ghul calls Nightwing Detective, which is kind of like a show that, okay, like he is going to be Batman. This is all happening during the time where Batman is about to die in Grant Morrison's Batman series, and it's a perfect bridge to that. Now, Peter J. Tomasi was actually supposed to write a longer Nightwing run, but I really do like what he did. It's like 12 issues, and it's genuinely some of the best Nightwing comics you can read. Then this does lead into him becoming Batman. The final issue of Peter J. Tomasi's run is one of the most emotional like Nightwing send-offs, where he is staring down the abyss of Batman's costume in the cave, because at this point Batman's dead, and you feel the weight of the mantle on Dick Grayson. You see all the scars on his back. You see that like he is primed to become Batman, and it leads into that. You have Batman and Robin by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, my favorite comic of all time. Like this is full stop the best superhero comic you'll ever read. It reinvents the superhero duo. It reinvents like what that looks like. It turns Batman into the bright, quippy superhero that Bruce Wayne could never be, with a Robin that is actually a lot darker and broods a lot more. And you see how much that clash, that difference kind of brings them together, and how Damian Wayne becomes Dick Grayson's Robin. Remember when I said that Tim Drake was Bruce Wayne's Robin? Damian Wayne is Dick Grayson's Robin, because they mesh the best. Their differing personalities clash to make a beautiful marriage that only Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson have ever been able to do. I love this series with my entire life. I've read it several times. There is no other comic book that is as good as Batman and Robin to me, and I love this series, man. Frank Quitely's art is exceptional all throughout this series, man. Like there's not a more perfect pairing for this duo, and it is just a classic like Silver Age comic, but there is a lot of like character work for Dick Grayson as Batman and also Damian Wayne as Robin. You see them both grow into the role. You see Dick Grayson, feel this weight of being Batman, how he does not fit as Batman. People realize that this Batman's different because he's shorter, he's slimmer, he's not built like Batman. He looks different, he talks different, he acts different. And there is this moment between Dick Grayson and Alfred where Alfred is telling him, all your life you have been an acrobat, you've been a performer. From your earliest point you were a performer, then you became Robin. Being Batman is just another role, it's just another performance. Put the mask on and continue performing. You are the best at it. You are the one to take on this role. And it just culminates into one of my favorite moments in Batman comics ever. It's a wonderful, wonderful series, wonderful moment. I think it was Batman and Robin issue 2. That is that's literally my favorite comic of all time, where this happens. And I could talk about Batman and Robin all day. I can talk about it all day. Maybe I'll make a video about it one day. But then you also have Batman Black Mirror by Scott Snyder, Jock, and Francesco Francavilla. Francesco Francavilla, also another artist that is all over Nightwing's like history, at least his modern history. This series is amazing. It's one of the darkest, Dick Grayson Batman stories, and Scott Snyder's great. Like this is Scott Snyder's first, Batman story, and stands the test of time. Like it's one of his best, comics too. It deals with, Jim Gordon's son, who was a serial killer, and also like Dick Grayson being the detective of Gotham at this time without Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne is not really a part of this. It's also just a fantastic. I will be honest with you, these 3 Batman comics where Nightwing is Batman, these are Dick Grayson's best comics. Unfortunately, there is one Nightwing comic that is getting really close and will probably be in this conversation, but these 3 have been Dick Grayson's best comics ever. The weight of Batman on Dick Grayson's shoulders is felt through all 3 of these comics I talked about too. Black Mirror and Batman and Robin. The next one is Batman Streets of Gotham by Paul Dini and Dustin Nguyen. These 3 Batman comics, just a pleasant surprise as far as how Dick Grayson is treated as Batman, how that affects him as a character and as a person, and the story that, like, the mysteries that unravel throughout all of these stories. Becoming Batman and what it means for Nightwing it means that Nightwing is growing up. That's what it means. Like that's throughout all of these series, all 3 of these series. Batman, the mantle of Batman is a signifier of Nightwing needing to grow up, and he does, and he takes on the responsibility of the lifetime. All 3 of these are amazing. Like some of the best Batman comics ever as well. Like I know it's Dick Grayson, but still. And then we have a little bit of a regression. Obviously, Bruce Wayne does come back as Batman, but there is a time where Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson are Batman at the same time. When Bruce Wayne comes back and Grant Morrison is writing Bruce Wayne as Batman, Dick Grayson is Batman on the Justice League of America. Like, this does happen for quite some time, and then New 52 happens, and he does have to be Nightwing again. And Nightwing 2011, Prince of Gotham by Kyle Higgins and Eddie Barrows is a really good, it's actually a really good Nightwing series. The best Nightwing run up to this point, in my opinion. I really, really enjoy the New 52 Nightwing series. It has drama, it has relationships, it has Nightwing sleeping around. It's good. Like it has Nightwing kind of trying to figure out like where he fits in Gotham with Batman like kind of being the superhero there. Why is there no Blüdhaven? Well, when New 52 happens, a lot of continuity kind of just got like mixed up, man. I'm assuming that at this point with New 52 Nightwing, I'm assuming that Chemo had been dropped on Blüdhaven, which Chemo is just like this, chemical disaster of a monster. And I am assuming that Blüdhaven was nuked. So that's what I think. I can't remember. I haven't read this in a couple years, but that's what I would think. And then towards the end, he kind of finds his own city. And then he goes back to Blüdhaven with Nightwing Rebirth. This is the Tim Seeley run. It's a pretty okay Nightwing series. I think it's a lot more hated than it should be. It's not like horrible. Some of the stories are interesting. I like the way Blüdhaven is portrayed as a city. It's a whaling city. Like it's a whale city, and there's casinos and something. It's a lot of these comics I haven't read in a long time. I remember a great deal of them, but a lot of these comics I haven't read in a long time. And really, like the impetus of Tim Seeley's run is kind of portraying Nightwing as being better than Batman, and what that means. And I'll be honest, does that idea land? Not really, but it's not bad. Like I really do enjoy Tim Seeley. Looking back, Tim Seeley's Nightwing run it's really good. Like it's a good run. It's a hell of a fun series. Had a great time reading it. You also have Nightwing Untouchable by Sam Humphries and Bernard Chang, which is probably one of the best like Nightwing stories ever. Kind of just like really delves deep into Nightwing's history as a superhero and how that ties into where he is now. Then you have Nightwing by Dan Waters and Dexter Soy, which I've talked about twice. I will be talking about it more. I'm going to make another video talking about the second story arc that has ended the other and my thoughts on it. I'm very much enjoying Nightwing by Dan Waters and Soy. Like, this is the Nightwing series I've been wanting for years. It seems like this is the first Nightwing series that may get close to those Batman series. But yeah, that is your guide to reading Nightwing, and my thoughts on all of these books. There are a lot of comics. There's definitely comics I've missed, especially like, kind of crossovers and stuff that he's appeared in. This isn't like a comprehensive list of everything he's been in. These are books that I've read that I love. And even I can't read anything, but let me know what y'all thought in the comment section below. What are y'all favorite Nightwing comics? of all time. Maybe top 5, top 3. Give me top 3 in the comment section below. Like, hit the subscribe button. Catch you on the next video, man. Peace.